66 million years ago, a piece of rock the size of Mount Everest was screaming toward the Gulf of Mexico at 45,000 miles per hour. But in this timeline, it misses. By just a fraction of a degree, it grazes Earth's upper atmosphere, skipping off the planet like a stone on a pond, and disappears forever into the dark void of space. The sky clears. The global firestorm never happens. The ash cloud never blocks out the sun. And because of that one split-second cosmic fluke, a terrifying butterfly effect is set into motion. You, me, and the entire human race are completely erased from existence. We never even get the chance to evolve. So if mammals are forced to stay hiding in the dirt as tiny, shivering rodents, who takes our place? Who inherits the Earth? To answer that, you have to forget absolutely everything Hollywood has taught you about dinosaurs. The apex species of this alternate Earth isn't a mindless, roaring Tyrannosaurus Rex. It is something much smaller, much faster, and infinitely more terrifying. 66 million years ago, there was a dinosaur called the Troodon. It was bipedal, incredibly agile, had binocular vision, and most importantly, it possessed the largest brain-to-body mass ratio of any dinosaur on the planet. It also had semi-opposable thumbs. It was already holding tools, while our mammalian ancestors were still eating bugs in the dark. Now, give that creature another 60 million years of uninterrupted evolution. Welcome to the empire of the Dinosauroids. If you were to stand face-to-face with one of them today, your primitive mammal brain would freeze in absolute primal terror. They stand about 6 feet tall, walking fully upright. Their bodies are covered in a sleek, shimmering layer of highly advanced iridescent scales and neurofeathers that can change color instantly to communicate complex emotions. Much like a cuttlefish, they don't have human-like faces. They possess elongated skulls, housing massive, calculating brains, and deep, vertical slitted eyes that can see in the ultraviolet spectrum. They don't speak with vocal cords. The air around them simply vibrates with low-frequency infrasound clicks and chitters that you can feel rattling deep inside your chest. But it's not their appearance that makes them so deeply unsettling. It is how they built their world. Human civilization is built on fire. We burned wood, we melted iron, we forged steel, and we built machines made of dead, cold metal. But a reptilian avian intellect wouldn't conquer nature by burning it down. They would conquer nature by hacking its source code. The Dinosauroid civilization never had an industrial revolution. They had a biological revolution. Welcome to the Biopunk Earth. In this world, there are no factories pumping out black smoke, no concrete highways, and no steel skyscrapers. Instead, their cities are literally grown. Imagine walking into a sprawling, multi-tiered metropolis made entirely of hardened, genetically engineered bone, calcified coral, and woven spider silk cables that are stronger than Kevlar. The buildings aren't constructed. They are massive, living organisms seeded into the ground and directed to grow into towering, chitinous spires. When the sun goes down, there are no electric streetlights. The city simply breathes and begins to glow. Genetically modified bioluminescent fungus and algae pump through transparent veins in the architecture, bathing the streets in a cold, pulsing neon green and violet light. They don't have cars or trains. Why build a mechanical engine when you have millions of years of giant dinosaur DNA at your disposal? For heavy transport, they use heavily mutated, lobotomized descendants of the Brachiosaurus. These walking mountains have been genetically sculpted to have hollowed-out, armored shells on their backs, acting as massive living buses that slowly march across the continent. Their technology isn't made of silicon chips and wires. It is made of flesh, nerve endings, and synapses. Their equivalent of a smartphone is a small, symbiotic parasite that attaches directly to their nervous system, allowing them to interface with a global, biological hive mind, a fleshy, living internet connected by massive fungal root networks stretching across the entire ocean floor. They heal their wounds not with bandages, but with engineered bioswarms of insect-like drones that stitch flesh back together in seconds. Flesh is their metal. Genetics is their software. They are masters of a terrifying, beautiful, and completely organic cybernetics. But here is the darkest, most chilling part of this alternate timeline. Where do we fit into all of this? What happened to the mammals? Without the asteroid to wipe out the dinosaurs, mammals never had the chance to grow larger than a house cat. We were kept in check, hunted, suppressed. But as the Dinosauroids became highly intelligent, they realized that mammals, with our warm blood, rapid breeding, and soft fur-covered skin, were incredibly useful. In this timeline, mammals are their livestock. Our distant ancestors have been genetically twisted and selectively bred in massive, biological factory farms. Some have been engineered to be giant, blind, fleshy mounds, harvested endlessly for their nutrient-dense milk and meat. Others have been bred down into tiny, brainless, fluffy genetic abominations kept as lap pets for dinosauroid children. We are the rats in their walls and the food on their tables. We are completely at their mercy, completely unaware that in another universe, we were the ones who split the atom and walked on the moon. And it makes you realize something deeply uncomfortable about our own existence. We look at the dinosauroids as science fiction, a crazy, impossible what-if. But mathematically speaking, they are the standard. Dinosaurs ruled this planet for over 160 million years. They survived mass extinctions, climate shifts, and the splitting of continents. They were incredibly successful, and they were already on the path to higher intelligence. Human beings have only been around for about 300,000 years, a microscopic blip on the radar of time. The Biopunk reptilian empire isn't the fluke, we are. We only exist because a random rock happened to be in the exact right place at the exact right time to hit the exact right spot on Earth. If that asteroid had arrived just 10 seconds earlier or 10 seconds later, it would have hit the deep ocean, the dinosaurs would have survived the impact, and you wouldn't be here right now. Right now, in that alternate timeline, a scaled, feathered dinosauroid astronomer is looking up at the night sky through a telescope made of living, engineered crystal. It is mapping the stars, preparing its civilization to launch massive, organic bioships into the cosmos. And maybe, just maybe, it wonders if somewhere out there in the infinite dark, a meteor ever hit a planet and allowed